Talk. We back, sir.
I get my
Another episode.
decorations together.
You know, you know, little something, little something.
You feel me? What's good? What's scuddy? What's scuddy?
Same old, same old. Making clothes, making,
Day.
do a little victory lap on them. It's a marathon. We doing the victory lap dance on them.
Bad. All right. Well, welcome back to another episode of Cloth Talk, episode 27. I'm your host, Indy. This is my co-host.
Renaissance.
And join us as we explore the world of tailored clothing, stitch by stitch. So, yeah. So, lots of news for you today. Well, in terms of 1080, I guess. But in terms of, like, what we talking about, not too much going on in the fashion world. But we going to get something out of it. We going to get an episode out this.
We got a lot to say all the time. So, it don't matter what it is. We got a lot to talk about.
Yeah, this boy all clean shaved.
Right.
Where you going to school?
Gotta make sure all the head is all out. But back clean up.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Also, happy Veterans Day. I know that's on Monday, so shout outs to all the soldiers in the service. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to my grandpa, even though he passed away. But
veterans,
But yeah, today we got like two segments for you. We just got 1080 updates and also Don't Throw It On Me. So
I got a little song, little change,
okay,
little chain stitch, hand stitch.
Oh, you did that by hand?
Yeah, this by hand.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this the one that's by machine.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I took it apart. I'm putting it together, putting a little something together with it. A little small, throw that in the segment a little quick.
Quick little. There's your items of the day right there.
Items of the week. Little hand stitching, little technique. It's a crazy little technique. I did it on the hats too, but
yeah, the snake.
It's just a little simple little running stitch and then a raptor stitch, and plus I already drew it, so it's just really tracing it.
What's it say? Because it's backwards.
Oh yeah, REAL, real, sir, real.
Sorry, yeah.
We'll have to get a mirror or something when we on live. They can see the real version of it. I was thinking about that last episode you showed up, so I was like, oh, that's backwards.
Well, yeah. I mean, soon we gonna be. I'm trying to get it together so we can broadcast on everything at once. Well, in terms of like YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram, all platforms at once. So, but we get in there. But actually, I think I only can do that on the computer, low key. So, I'm gonna figure it out.
Yeah, slowly.
Stay tuned.
We figuring out clothes. Before we.
I got other stuff more important to figure out first. Like this fashion show coming up on December 8th. Good segment right there. You feel me?
So that little update. You know what I'm saying? Everybody come out.
Yeah, fashion show December 8th. Make sure y'all come. The tickets are gone, so y'all.
I mean,
y'all gonna have to like finesse somebody for some tickets. I don't know. You gonna have to ask somebody.
Hey man, come stand in line, like.
But yeah, we in Brooklyn, December 8th. Check us out. If you got tickets, you know who you are. So, and then also we
sold out show.
So, got to be there. We also have updates on the 1080 website, so definitely go check that out. I updated like the homepage. We put I put a new archive on there, so there's like pictures and stuff as well of like our past stuff. So go check it out. I will be adding some more updates hopefully here in the next couple weeks. I'm trying to add like some accessories on there. I'm trying to put some products on there too. I'm trying to put some products on there soon as well. So, and then also especially like accessories, like some tote bags. I got keychains, card holders. Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ.
So yeah, definitely go check that out. So definitely got a lot of things new coming in for 1080. So, we getting some stuff together. We looking official, dog.
Get to it.
Yeah, so just finally over a year, so I mean, you can't expect too much for us. So
You can expect
give us a little bit of break.
what you want, but this is what you're gonna get. That's what they can expect. You can expect what you're gonna get. That's what you can do.
And bring your wallet.
Bring your wallet. Bring your wallet.
And last thing on the, I guess, introduction, shout out to all the viewers and everyone. Shout out to all the love that we get, especially on YouTube. There's even the last 2 clips I put out, we got 500 views, almost 600 views each. I mean, I know people ain't thinking that's not that much, but I take it, compared to our last ones before that. So, I mean, it's looking pretty good. I mean, it looks like we get a little popular, so y'all better get
Putting
it
out
now
good
before
content,
it's
putting
too
out good
late.
conversation. Like that's what it is. Like they see the conversation, they hear the conversation, they get into the content, they going to check the sources, they coming back probably and seeing what else we saying because they probably have to go and check out what we saying mid interview. So if you got to go check your sources, if you got to go make sure that what we saying is a point of view of ours or whatever, however you got to do it, go ahead. You know what I'm saying? It's 1080. We stand on our business. You know what I'm saying? But
You won't
don't
see me
threaten
at
me.
that table,
Right.
though.
No, you can't see me on that table though. That's what I'm saying. It's a difference, Yeah, man, you go how your tailor argue with me or something like it ain't too much they can argue with me about. Stylists, designers. I mean, we can have a conversation, but we can't have no arguments. That's all I'm gonna say. Like it's a difference. Like the conversation gonna be nice and pleasant. The arguments might hurt your feelings. So just realize that the tailor is the person that get those ideas and put them together. So no matter how big your dreams are, if you cannot sew it, you can't sew it. That means nothing. Like it's just going to be a piece of paper. It's going to be an idea, whatever it's going to be. That's what it's going to be until you give it to somebody like me or Indy, and we put it together and make it an actual garment. So if you ain't like this with your sample maker, with your tailor, you should. Especially if you're trying to get into it with us, so you're trying to get into it within the club. If you're trying to get into the club, then I recommend that you know what I'm saying, you either go talk to the people and find out, or just take
what
some notes.
what Chris Brown say? How you gonna hit from outside of the
Right.
club? You can't even get in.
Get in. K8 from outside the club. You have to put that at the end of one of those. You're gonna have to put that on one of the weekly you know what I'm saying? You had to put that on one of the weekly commercials, you know what I'm saying? How you go hate from outside the club? You can't even get in. I mean, I think that might be hey, Chris might have gave us a little motto right there, for the club right there. That one for the club. We're gonna take that for the culture. Appreciate it, Chris. The Black Pyramid or whatever he made at the time, but he be wearing some of everything. So, but shout out to Chris. West Coast clothing. All them boys on top right now. I ain't mad at y'all, but
They got
I mean,
manufacturing. That's why.
manufacturer. They got the numbers there. The customers, like being on that East Coast, West Coast. The amount of customers that you get can be based on the population and the population.
There's 40 million. There's 40 million in California alone, bro.
And if
So
you got any sense of pride, if you got some you got a sense of pride in your city or your coast or whatever, then you're gonna probably go and buy that. So I don't put
and
it
I hate
past
to say
them.
it, it's probably cheaper labor that way too. But
I mean, they still charging the same amount for that arms,
we
the
still on
food
state
and all
price.
that. So the price gonna be the same, but it's just you got the supply. Like you got the supply to back up what they talk about. So, but that's what's gonna be our problem if we ain't
That's
got
crazy.
the
Because how can the West Coast do it? Like, well, it's probably just number wise, but how is West Coast doing it and the East Coast can't? That's crazy.
East Coast producing everything. I ain't gonna lie. East
Well, in
Coast
terms of
got.
like manufacturing,
I mean, they taxes different. The
that's
amount of people and production is different. But I think East Coast got it. I just don't think that. I think it's more of a wide open space and stuff like that. But East Coast kind of condensed, especially with New York and New Jersey being right there, and they the supplier for the rest of the country with most products. So I don't put it past that they got a nice little something coming in this way, but it's gonna be cheaper on the West Coast because that's what China is. So all the China clothes that come in, it's gonna be cheaper to go from bam to bam instead of coming all the way across the country or going the opposite way, going across that way. So Like it's just a little distance, a little math. But that's what when they were shutting down the ports and all that. That's what they was jeopardizing or talking about. But now with the tariffs and everything, if they put these tariffs forth, then it's gonna be taxes on all the embarges and all that stuff that's coming in, and the embargo tax and all, like it's gonna be a tax on everything that come up in here. Because if you don't buy mine, but you want me to buy yours, we're gonna have a problem. And that's what the current president is talking about right now. And that's why some people voted for him. That's why a lot of people voted for him, because they see that if I'm making something and they making something and they can make it cheaper, mine ain't gonna go in the streets. Like you selling T-shirts for $2, I can't afford to make them there, but because you popular, you can make them cheaper and you can sell them more. And I'm over here with the customer that's buying your product, and I can't sell them nothing. I can't sell them one. So I think it's just evening, like trying to even out the playing, like the playing field a little bit, so that we can compete with these European and Chinese brands, and our manufacturers being able to survive. Like we can't survive if they paying their workers less than our workers, and they producing more because they got more workers. We don't even have the workers to do it, so we got to put the workers to work. We got to train the workers, get the workers, then give them to work 8-hour, 12-hour days or whatever is needed to make the product. So that's what's not different. It's not the culture right now. Like for Americans, sewing is not the culture. Like a lot of Americans, they gonna always talk about they
They don't want to
grandma.
do nothing, bro. I mean, I'm not saying they don't want to do nothing, but a lot of them don't have skills.
But on top of that skill that's needed to make clothes and to produce this product that we spending all this money on, like if you do the math on it, like how much Americans spend on clothing, like we
Right.
spend a lot of money on clothing. And even growing up, like a lot of my stories came from clothing. Like I know people that died for clothing, like died for shoes, died for jackets,
Yeah.
died over a dice game because they was going to go buy something, or hustled all night and got caught, went to jail for clothes. Like all of this for clothes. So our culture is set up a little bit different around, especially in the hood, when it comes to clothing. And clothing real important, in some cultures, but making it is not. And that's what we lack in this culture, whether however you want to call it, black culture, urban culture, the Gen Z, whatever you want to, like everything right now is not based on anybody making all this stuff that we need or we value the most. So if you value it, you should know how to make it or have a source for it that ain't as expensive as what they trying to charge. So that's my problem is I'm just I digress, because it's stuff.
Speaking about somebody who should die over this clothing, goddamn, Tremaine Emory.
Right. See,
We
you want to
back in this.
you
We
want to
on
get
Don't
into it
Threat on Me,
again.
dog. Don't threat on me.
So when I'm looking at this dude, like I'm looking at where he draws all his inspiration from, and he draw his inspiration from pain. Like we like our forefathers and our grandmamas, especially with my side that went through slavery and all that. That's a painful thing that they went through. Some of them. So what I recently got, and why I was gonna bring it up before, but it's been over a couple of little weeks. But when I went and I was walking down the field, down the road, I seen a cotton
Yeah.
field, and I went and I picked up a
Oh,
piece of
that's the
cotton.
picture you sent me. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was like I actually picked cotton before, so I'm looking at
In your
how
blood.
heavy.
It's in your blood. You know how to do it.
But on top of that, after I did it, like I started to think about a couple things. Like first of all, how much did y'all pick? This shit is light. Like this,
Yeah.
like it's really this big.
Right.
Like it's light,
Right.
like a cotton ball. How much of that in this field that y'all picked? Like how many times you had to go down that road? How many times you had to pick it? Like
Well,
all
there's
the
a lot of
dead.
them, but
So so when I posted it on Facebook, because that's where most of the family at. I posted on Facebook. My grandmother's youngest sister, which is still alive and still doing her thing. Shout outs to my auntie Barbara. Like she like, oh, that's cotton. I was like, yeah, that's cotton. Oh, my daddy posted, oh, your grandma used to pick that. And then she come behind that like, oh, I used to pick that too. I picked it for a pair of shoes. I'm like, what? So basically, to hustle, it was the sharecropping. So she would, it was a job. Like they would go do a
Right.
job and earn money doing it. And so basically, she earned enough so she can go get a pair of shoes. And that's why she did it as a little girl. So she was able to say that, oh, I picked cotton for a pair of shoes or whatever she wanted. Like, so it wasn't. That's when I listened to Kanye, and that's Tremaine boy, you know,
Emory.
at one time that was his boy. But when I listened to like Kanye when he was talking about the slavery was a choice thing, like I listened to my auntie and I'm like, Kanye said slavery was a choice, and you told me you had the choice to go out there and pick some cotton so that you could earn money to go get shoes. So you had a choice, just like, and I understood like in that moment, not even before none of that. In that moment, she had a choice to do slave work, like work that would be considered slave work, and she chose to do it to get some money. And that's what I think a lot of people doing now. Like they choose slave work to do to get what they want. And
Well, that's what I'm saying. That refers back to them not know. Not I'm not saying like everyone's in a situation to learn or whatever, do something, but like as long as you have a skill that nobody can tell you like otherwise in terms of like having like a job or something like that, you can take that anywhere. In terms of like carpenter, electrician, I'm not saying it has to be that or whatever. Even if it's web designing or anything in the STEM field, like if you have a skill, dog, like you can take it anywhere. But like I
but
understand what you're saying.
it's about how much people value that skill too, depending on how much you get paid. Because I looked at the recent little clip on the internet, 50 Cent with the one bottle of, with that dollar bottle of water thing. Like it's where you put yourself at that sometimes make you more valuable. So he was
You
like,
talking about the smart water that he did a while ago, or are you talking about
he was just making an example. He was like, it's a bottle of water, it's $1 here, it's $2 over there, it's $7 over there. He's like, it's the same bottle of water, but what makes it different? He's like, it's not what it's the same bottle of water. It's about where that water is placed. Sometimes that brings in more value.
yeah,
So
yeah.
maybe
Sorry.
the underlying message was you
Go
might
to where
not need
you're
those
where
where you
you're
value
going.
more. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that's the message that I was like, oh, I get it. So
It was the
I
same
kind of got that.
experience. There was the same like experiment they did with I don't know if you've seen with a guy that like had like a super expensive violin. He was like a super he was like a really good violinist who gets paid a lot of money, and he went to like a subway down in like a subway somewhere,
Oh, yeah,
and he was playing and
like
nobody
Carnegie
noticed
Hall
him.
type. Yeah,
Yeah,
but that's just it. You could be
but
Carnegie Hall level and be in the subway, and
right,
people walk right past you and not even treat you like you this guy. But when you there, they like, oh my God, look, it's so and
right.
so so so. So I get it, but back to this guy tremendous.
Yeah, I'm saying to go back to Tremaine, I was trying to find it on my iPad, but I couldn't get it. But this is the collection, just for reference for people to see. I don't know if y'all can see that, but
So if anybody on here has ever been to a design school or did
we
any
could
mood boards or
like see it better.
any concept, anything, like if you did design one, you see the flaws in all of this, like the color palette, like all of this stuff. And then the excuses he's gonna make is that he's just want to do something different. And I can't disagree with nothing about people doing shit different because I do shit different. So, but to go totally across the grain, just do one pieces, have no color coordination, like
Nothing. There's no cohesiveness.
no
There's like, where would you even wear this? But I told you, bro. I told you he's a bum, and this is some bum clothing. Like this is clothing you would find off the street, bro. Like random pieces you would pull together.
he's
This
trying to
guy
do.
is the definition of a
But
bum.
that's
Clip
it.
that
That
right
goes to his
there.
concept. He doesn't want to make like lasting. Like to me, it don't look like lasting pieces because it look like moment. It's a moment. Like yo, you just making that. That's gonna be hot for the moment, and next season it's gonna be gone. Nobody's gonna wear that shirt. It's not gonna go with nothing. It's just gonna
You
be
might
something
wear
like
it, but it's not something like that. Even like evokes. I'm not saying you have to evoke emotion, but like, come on, dog. Like this is basic stuff. Like I'd find this at like what was it like
but
Journeys or
but
the
he's
old school. You might
expressed
wear.
He
in
a
the
thrift
mall.
dresser, dude. Like he a thrift dresser. Like he dressed like a
Literally.
thrift. Like he wants
Homeless.
to look like that. He want to dress
Homeless.
in layers. He dressed in layers, and he dressed with different colors and different textures and shit like that, just for the shock and the ball. Like I don't like people that dress like regular. I mean, beyond regular people, just for the shock and appall, like just to get people's attention. Like you should be smooth enough to get their attention without trying. Like they
Like
try too hard to me.
they
Like I
just
don't like
automatically like when they walk in,
Soho,
like, oh, they're
fake Soho designing ass people. Like I don't like them. They put on a whole bunch of thrift store, or they go buy a whole bunch of designer and match it with some thrift store shit. They act like they beyond times, like they Andre 3000 to somebody. Like get the fuck out of here. Part of my dang, I ain't even mean to do that. Get the f out of here. Stop playing. Go get you some skill and put together something, and stop trying to just throw together hoodies and blazers that not your size and put big pants on with tight belts and just to try to get bell bottom look. Like I'm tired of it. Like I'm glad men's is coming back, and men's in the right way. The tailored men, like tailored men is coming back. It ain't got to be no. I appreciated the tight jean era better than this era because I don't like that big bulky pants. That's not my style. So
I mean, I like if it's like the waist actually fits or whatever, you know what I'm saying, into the bulkiness, not just like the whole thing huge or whatever. But
you know, I wore big pants because my cousin had big pants and I wanted to wear them. I didn't have.
well, early 2000s was like that. The Jenko jeans and
Yeah, I didn't like them per se. I like the way that they supposed to look on the person whose size it was, but on me, they didn't look right. They was just the right pair of jeans or pants to wear at the time because they was actually on trend. But now, I guess like that's what people doing now. They wearing on trend just to stay in above fashion waters. Like I don't know, but the thing he said to that guy. So the guy that I was telling you about, they called him Timu. They called it Timu Tears.
yeah,
So,
it's hilarious.
but he was talking about how Tremaine wrote up under his post or whatever, like there is no such thing as a Denim Tears T-shirt, and there's too much negative space. We don't even make that. Everyone you ever seen was fake, and like all that stuff he was saying was directly contradictory to everything that
He does.
Virgil
Oh,
said.
like
Like Virgil,
yeah.
he liked the bootlegs. He liked what he felt like it was a form of flattery, and like somebody knocking him off, like he made it. Like, and I thought about that too. If somebody knocked me off, that mean I made it. That mean I like enough people have seen it. They spread like it's like a postcard. Like you sending it that way now. So I don't care if somebody knocked me off. I really don't. And like I thought about it before. If a big company do it, that's one thing. If a regular person do it, that's another. Like even if it's a regular person trying to start a company and they making money, I wouldn't even bother. I wouldn't sue them. I wouldn't do nothing until they become something like a conglomerate or something like that. That's the only people that I would sue. A
Then
regular person, I'll go ahead and get somebody because you ain't doing nothing but advertise. Especially me, all my
right.
all my logos and all my everything is connected.
Especially if you're the first one out there, they're always going to be like, "Oh, you look like so and so." They're not going to be like, "You were the first one to
But
do it."
it's people that'll take like a little bit, like they'll take a little design or they'll take a little inspiration and they'll use it and they'll build off that, and that'll cause one branch to go one way. But with the Flyboy or anything that comes from sports money entertainment or any of that, like you ain't gonna do nothing but make mine more solidified because once I show my whole presentation, mine's a presentation. That's what I get too. Mine ain't no clothing line. It's more of a presentation. It's a story. It's a it's something else. Like this dude, like I see it's fast food. Like it's fast food clothing. They just want to drop it every 3
You
months.
just saw that.
Clothing, they're gonna drop it every 3 months. You're gonna see it. Then they're gonna come with some more bull. They're gonna drop another 10, 15 pieces or whatever they drop. Like that wasn't what, 10 pieces maybe? Like what are you gonna do in like 3 months?
3, 6, yeah, 10 pieces.
10 pieces. And
That's crazy. 2 pants, 1 shorts, a jacket, a denim jacket, like 3 shirt, 4 shirts.
they,
They're just so random. Like I don't understand where he even got these ideas
even
from. But
when I was building, like the way I build a wardrobe is like this, and it started from when I was building my wardrobe. Like I had a job at damn. at the movie. I was working at the movie theater, and I was working at the UPS. So UPS paid weekly. So that check, I was like, I'm buying nothing but clothes with that whole check. And my other check, I paid my phone bill. You know, that's before even cell phones was crazy. But I had a phone bill and I had rent, small bills. So that UPS check was like 100 and something, maybe 200 on them good weeks. But I worked that. And at the end of the week, I would go and just go on Madison and Pulaski, shout out to Chicago, and I would just go blow the whole check. And it wouldn't be nothing but like 3 shirts, 2 pants, or I get 3 pants, 2 shirts. Like I would give I'll do a combo, but I'll always like get more of one than the other one. But they was all kind of matching. I would go back to that same collection, that same colorway or something. And over about like 2 months, my wardrobe was crazy. Like I didn't have to buy no more clothes for like a minute. And that's when I started like pretty much renting clothes. Like I was renting clothes to my cousin. Like, oh, they're like, oh, let me borrow that jacket. I like that jacket. I'm like, yeah, go ahead, go get it. It's hanging up. Just bring it back after you come back. And of course, everything didn't come back, and everything didn't come back right, clean, none of that. So that was like my first if that was stylish to me. That was being a stylist to me, and that was basically just giving away clothes that I wore. So it would fit different on my taller cousin or short. Well, I was tallest, but you know my bigger cousin. So I'm taller, but I have somebody almost my height and bigger, so it'll fit different on him. But like clothes, like building a wardrobe, doing 10 pieces, like 10 pieces is nothing. Like
Bro, 10 pieces. I mean, they're not hard pieces. They're just like basic pieces. So I'm like,
you ain't got no color variation. Like
and
can't
half of
wear.
them are the same. I'm pretty sure the jeans are just the cotton stuff on it. Bro, these, oh my God. I always,
Those
the
clown
comments are,
pants, like with
they
the
are
little,
firing on them on these comments, bro. The comments are crazy. He's like, yeah, you can hang it up, LOL.
like his only hit was the cotton reef, and the only reason why the cotton reef got on because of the story he put with it, and Levi's bought into it. Like Levi's bought into that idea. They gave him gas. He dropped all that foolishness after that. He wasn't a poor guy. Like he wasn't poor anyway. He was telling about how he worked at J. Crew. Like his
He
story is
still, who's he working for now though? Like, who's giving him money? Because there ain't no way
he
he's making like, is he
he
making? I mean, because
he
I
did
guess
them
people are
tears.
still buying it. The stores are still buying his stuff.
He got Levi and he got Denim Tears. Like that's
Well,
all.
Denim Tears is his though, right? Or is it underneath
Denim
Levi?
Tears is his, yeah. That ain't under no LVMH or nothing like that, carrying nothing. So when he went to
So that's what I'm saying.
Supreme,
LVMH, I mean, excuse me, Levi is his main source of money. Because there ain't no way he's just only doing Denim Tears. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, and that's what I sent you that post, but it was about how to copyright. It was the copyright, the licensing, and stuff like that. And I think that that's what he did with Levi, and that's what I would do with Levi, because I'm not going to produce a Levi jacket. So y'all going to produce Levi jacket, but I'll license my logos to you to do all this, you know, brand cross brand kind of thing, and that's what we had to do with a brand that's already established. If they want to do business, it's like I'll license my logos to you so that you could use them and print them for a certain amount of time. But
Yeah.
you know, I want my money, you know, for my garments. And if you just got licensed to my garment, you can sell 1,000,000 of them, like, and only give me a certain amount. But because I licensed you and I gave you the rights to do it, then you know that's how that works. So, but I see
I
how he
I
getting
can
money
find
from.
like a net worth or whatever for his.
Yeah, he do a season or two with Levi. I think he on this like because since I left Levi, that's when I'm telling you when I left, he went in like literally
And you
like.
could have done that job. Like, come on now.
But I would have made it different, and I think that that's what it was because they was broadcasting everything that I was doing every day to San Francisco, like everything from like in New York. Notice like I would like my manager and like the DM from my area, they will all get on a conference call, and every time it's like, all right, what did you make over here, or who you want to shout out? Like I was getting shout out every day. So, oh, what you make yesterday?
That's
Oh, we got
crazy, bro. Because I remember, you remember the arms that went all the way down the arms? What was it? It was like,
that was that was, and that's
it
what
was
I'm
like the
saying. I did
name.
that before Denim Tears, and
Right.
that was the blood on the sleeve thing.
Yeah.
So did the whole.
That
It
was
was all.
crazy.
I didn't even take the like. I didn't even show the picture of the back, but it was like it just said say their names, and it was
Yeah.
like everybody that didn't
And
pass,
then
and
it
like
was their names down the side with the blood.
then the
Yeah,
blood.
that was
Yeah,
cold. That was cold, bro.
dude came in and bought it for like $300. I think he bought it for three, but it wasn't my money, so I just did the work, and it was just a.
I'm
It
saying,
was.
you like the jacket itself would have been like what 100 something.
It's like 100 for a denim
That's a
pattern.
one on one.
One
Like yo, that had to go way more than that, bro. That's crazy.
custom, all those names. Each name technically is $25, and I had way more than 25 names on there. So the
Right.
names on it alone was more worth more than the jacket, and then the labor was worth more than what they sold it for. So, but that's what I'm saying. Like they know what I am, they know what it is, but they didn't want to pay the salary I had in order. So shout outs to Levi. Y'all know y'all. I don't even want to say y'all lost one because we can always work, but you got to pay me. So if we do a 1080 brand crossover, you're gonna have to pay me. I want the licensing. I want my royalties. I want to be able to come in there. I can do my own sample. That's the thing about it. Like most of these companies, like you would have to get what they tailor anyway if you go and do a collaboration. Like we gonna go up in there and just go up in there and like, yeah, we can sit down. Like let us sit down with your production team and we produce the actual sample that we're gonna collab on. So we don't need your tailors unless they showing us to the room that we gonna do the work at. So but
Unless you get my copy, boy.
yeah, yeah. Go give me some scissors. Like you can do that. Go give me some scissors. Show me where the thread is. But ain't like now. Like
Here, go hem this. Go see. Go search
go do
this.
and it's it. Like I can pass over work to like smaller. Like oh I don't have to do this part of it. Okay, go do this pocket. Like I'll do the main work. I did the pattern. I did that. I connected it. Like okay, do this part. This gonna cost. It's gonna take 15 minutes. So
And I would
all right, you do a 15.
imagine they would have the patterns already. So I mean, I'm just adjusting theirs.
No lead
But
time. I got pictures of the workshop and everything, and then the one that's up in New York, the guy that told me, because it's lot one. Like if you lot one, that means that you make the actual jean. Like they come to you for custom jeans, and those $900, sir. So I know my worth, and they know I wasn't budging on it, and that's why I had to leave. So, but the guy that had the job in New York told me it was only one other guy that had it like that, and he was in Cali. He was in San Francisco, and basically, I got Levi number. You know what I'm saying? And I know it ain't too hard to get. You know what I'm saying? The drop on Louis Vuitton and the LVMH and all them boys. Like I know how y'all shit work. Pardon my expression, but I know how everything work as far as the sewing machine room and the equipment you got and all that stuff just to make stuff easier. Like
breaking up, dog.
breaking
What's up with the
up. You hear me?
Wi-Fi, dog?
Oh, you was breaking up earlier. You hear me now?
Nah, you good, but it happened a few times to kind of like. Anyways, all right. Next subject. It's like kind of. I mean, we kind of staying in the streets, not really low, whatever you want to call it, but
We the street
um,
we the street luxury, sir. Street
yeah. Next is Marc Jacobs. He had an interview on the Wall Street Journal. I thought it was. I thought it was. I mean, we could talk about it, but I mean, because he's been in the game for a while, so it's just interesting his take on it. So, but I'll just give you the breakdown of it. They just asked him a whole bunch of questions, basically, but kind of a few accomplishments that he had is, that he has is the youngest to win the Perry Ellis Award.
He worked for Perry Ellis. Don't forget that part.
I know. Well, yeah. So he worked for Perry Ellis, and then but that was after. Yeah, he won the award, and then he was a creative director at Perry Ellis at age of 25. His company, he opened his own company before the age of 30, and then he worked for LVMH at the same time for 16 years. One part I thought that was interesting in the interview was he was like, you spoke about it earlier about the Pharrell part. He's like, Pharrell called him LVMH. He claimed that he was like the head of LVMH house. Like he made LVMH house.
He built the house.
because of like all the stuff he did, like the collaborations and everything like that. But he's like, I
Stuff
feel
that
like
made him first. He being
he's like, I feel like
first
he only
designer
told me
for
that.
Louis Vuitton. Like,
Yeah. And he's like, I feel like he only said that just because like I put him on basically because nobody else would help out Pharrell. So like he helped out Pharrell. So that's why I feel like he said that.
they were his brand
Um,
again, but it's attached to the company, so I get it. But yeah, he ain't do nothing but ride the coattails of Dapper Dan. Dapper Dan was in the game doing clothing. He was making Louis Vuitton clothing. After he made Louis Vuitton clothing, and they shut him down so many times, they raided him so many times. The LVMH and all those companies, they knew they had to start making clothes. So once they started making clothes, the guy that they went and got was this guy. After he did a couple of collections, they talked about him failing and it not looking like Perry Ellis and all that.
right.
He went to the streets, got some graffiti artists, did some whole New York inspirational type of things, and was able to take it to Louis Vuitton and create the brand that you see now. Like, he wasn't that inspiring. Like, his designs wasn't that crazy. Like just because he did like the first one don't make it the best one. None of that. Like, I think Alejandro, I think he a better designer personally. Like, if I look at
Taylor?
his stuff, that's better. So, but
Yeah.
he took
Well, even the Marc Jacobs brand, like I don't feel like anyone really. Well, that's a lie. I mean, obviously people have like the tote bags and stuff like that, but I don't think it's as celebrated as like LVMH. I mean, like you know what I'm saying? Like it was just like a side
especially
company to get like money off of,
his
but like
clothes.
it's not like well
Like,
spoken about in terms of
it's the
like
bag still. Like, when you look at the
right
bags, when
the
you
tote
look at
bag.
his collaborations, like, he puts the emphasis on the bags. Like, everybody that you can tell their root or inspiration or their love of that part of what they're doing. Like, and for him, I think it's the bags, and like, bags go
No,
with
it's literally the bags
like
is what's
his
holding the
bags
whole thing
are
up.
like his clothing. Like, I don't see nothing like extravagant or that foul. Like, when I see his clothing, like I like Alejandro. Like, when I see that, I see that pop. I see why he is what he is. Even when he had Valentino, like, oh, he know how
You putting that shit on?
he making that. Like, but
Yeah.
look at
Nah.
the
I
whole.
wasn't hating on him at first because he was doing too much in Gucci, but when he got to Valentino, I feel like he made it so eloquently. So I feel like he's definitely in his bag. I want to see more of him.
Yeah, he got a different kind of like eye for the fashion. Like,
Right.
his fashion eye is
It's
crazy.
different, but it goes together. Like you're like,
It,
okay, I
the
see it.
texture, all that, everything that go with the texture, the color, all that with him, he kind of slam it. So to have that kind of comparison in my head, like, oh, well, you wasn't like that good for me to be sitting up here going all off and being like, oh, you like you made the
Thank
brand
you.
do that. Yeah.
Someone congratulated me for winning the designer 1080.
So then,
Thank you, thank you a lot.
is where
Now
but
buy some
that's another
bitch,
thing.
like just like
You don't know. Like, I don't know no Marc Jacobs menswear that I appreciate or that I see that's like jumping out at me. Like, most of these designers, like a lot of them, like even their menswear is really feminine. So that's why this year is very important for the masculinity, not your sexuality, but the masculinity needs to come back to fashion. Like, not your
yeah,
sex. I don't need to know your sexuality when you dressing or nothing like that. I don't care about all that, but that masculine, that man look, like, that's gonna come back this year, and that's what I think we should, you know, as menswear designers, like we emphasize that. Like, that's what my focus is. I ain't focused on nothing else but creating a menswear look, but I can do all the other stuff too. So don't get it twisted. And that's what,
here's the year, dog. That's our year.
and it's menswear, yeah. And that's what, like, I want to see more guys like doing it. Like, if any of them, like, if any of the designers, like, they come out with something, I congratulate them. If it's good, you can't hate on like good clothing. Like that ain't right. Like I ain't doing this to hate. But if it's sloppy, or if you ain't doing it, all the extra stages that come with it, then I'm gonna say something on it. So, but right now, I just think that I got, a little bit to something to say next year. So, you got to come with the team. The whole club gonna come out. I'm gonna bring out the designs, on everything to go with it. What that is? December 14th show in New Jersey. They're looking
Yeah.
for designers for December 14th show in New Jersey. Tyrone,
I'm
Chiller,
not gonna do it.
and they are doing it all male show. Yeah, it sounds good. Sounds good. Are they from scratch? Are they gonna be doing like t-shirts? Like we in such a different lane that we can't even I wouldn't put it. I mean, we definitely in a lane, but we're not in a definite lane, like, because we can do streetwear and we can do high end. So if it come down to, all right, if it's a show with suits or whatever, and want to do more that type of look, we could do that. But if you got t-shirts, we can do that too. Like, it don't matter. What?
Yeah. I mean, I mean, after this next show, I'm done for this year, dog. We closing
What else is
1080
there to
down.
do this year? Ain't nothing else to
No,
do
she
until
said this
fashion.
show.
Until Fashion Week. So
No, she's talking about this show that was
on the
December
14th.
14th, which was after my show. I'm already doing a show on December 8th, so that's why I can't really make that show. But thank you for that. And yeah. What up, Kevin?
Yeah,
Uh,
that's
we
my
got, I think he came and left that quick, dog.
check on him. Hey
Yeah,
man,
we left. Anyways, all right, to our last one, which actually we've kind of already been talking about it, but we're kind of leading. We're going to take that and lead into like copy culture, in terms of like the street culture, and how just like a lot of people have got a lot of popularity off of that, including Marc Jacobs and stuff like that, that have used the culture to profit off of it. Not like it's a bad thing. Like I understand, like yeah, we see you here.
yeah,
What
look.
up? What up? Like I said, like not like it's a bad thing. It's just that a lot of people don't give the props or even necessarily even know where they're getting it from. So, you want to take the helms on that one?
So basically, what it was saying, like what we saying with that is, some people don't even know where they're getting their influence from. Like a lot of these designers, to me today, they see something, they take the inspiration, and then they run with it. They don't know where it comes from the wide leg to the crop chop tops, none of that. They don't know where that inspiration came from. They just know that it's popular, so they start doing it. But copy culture, like, it's a compliment to copy, like we were just talking about with Virgil and how he put it. But when it comes to people like Dapper Dan, they took his whole everything. Like when they took his style and then they didn't give him credit for it, that's where you get the problem. So I think that copying culture and the way that the Europeans do it, the way that the Japanese do it, it ain't no offense if it's properly done and there's proper credit given. But if you ain't giving nobody credit for something that you obviously profiting on, like you profiting off the culture, like the culture of clothing and how we value clothing, how we value dressing. Like other countries and people, they know that. Like they know
But
that
like I
we
understand, like sorry to cut you off, but it's like I understand like admiring somebody, but like there's a lot of times, especially in like even Japanese culture, they literally take one subdivision of like our culture, like it'll be like because I don't know if you've seen like online, they'll take like the Mexican heritage, like they have literally like the vato like ties, the
you know,
vato
like
like
that's
dress
what
shirts,
Willie should be offended by that.
and
Willie should say
they
something
have
about
like the
that.
low riders and everything. Literally, they look Hispanic, bro, and like you couldn't tell the difference. But like they probably speak straight up Japanese. Like
But it's like the break dancers and the people with the
the break, yeah.
yo,
There's a lot
with the comic.
of them.
It's a lot of they grab onto a culture and they ride it and they go all the way with it. Like in America, It's just
I guess we do that. I
we
mean,
do
there's
it
like
with
anime and
the
stuff like
wrong
that.
stuff. They do it with sports teams over here. They
Yeah.
do it with gangster rap over here. Like they do it with the wrong stuff. Like so, imagine if they jump on a trend and they ride it out and they dressing like it, acting like it. That's what they do in a gangster rap in America. So if you don't know nothing about rap and all of a sudden you hear it, now you just going along with whatever artist and you following him, you dressing like him.
Tuka.
Now you talking about killing people. Now you talking about smoking people. Like that's what happens. And America has been on a, has been like doing what Chicago did for the last 10 years. It's been like let's do what Chicago doing. Like
On
why
that
would you
old block,
copy?
baby.
It's
Just
like
like, let me
copying
stop.
your little, and this is how I feel towards it. It's like copying your little brother. Like he ain't mature enough to be making these decisions. He ain't making it with his right mind, but you copying his behavior, making him popular, giving him attention, and it was the opposite of what they needed to do with Chicago. When I left Chicago, it was at its height. Like they was at the height of popularity across America. Like everybody was, oh, Chicago. Like I couldn't go nowhere without somebody being like, oh, Chicago, Chicago. What about Little Keith and what about Mr. Dirk and all that? Like,
Mr. Dirk.
oh, they think these people. They down the street. You encounter them. They shot at you. Like they just want something. They really infatuated, but it's just like cowboys. It's just like the different stories you didn't heard. Like it's an infatuation that America got right now. They slowly moving away from it, but it's hard to. It's like these people, like they still in the news, like Dirk in the news again. Like now the story about them and all the,
Catch a case.
they can't go away. Like and once they don't go away or they don't change and it's still the same culture and the same music, like the kids gonna copy that, and then like that ain't the best thing to copy. So if they was copying being Yu-Gi-Oh or being Ninja Turtles or something, I'd rather them do something stupid like that or something innocent like that that ain't gonna cause them too much hurt. I remember the kid that was up in Florida. He was copying being a little wrestler, and he body slammed a little girl, and they gave the boy life, and he was number 14. So sometimes copying stuff ain't the best, and it can end you, in the wrong place. But in clothing, ain't no.
You say all that to say stop copying clothes.
I'm copying clothing, but give proper
Nah,
justly.
I'm just playing. Everything. I mean, obviously, everything's like
They got
everything
one
might not be
neck hole,
new, but
two
at
arms,
least
two
make a
legs. Like you
variation.
can't change it. Ain't no.
No, but people are
You going?
literally stealing mine.
You going out?
Oh, dang, you breaking up.
Dropping the call.
Hey, well, that means we
You
gotta
lose
get
your
out of here,
phone and
then.
then everything working again. It's obviously you.
As soon as we start talking stuff, bro, they try to cut us out. That's what
That's
happens.
what it is. It's a copy and conspiracy.
It's the government. They coming for us.
Yo, I know they listening. So
Not
while
the
y'all
government,
listening,
the CFDA, bro.
the CFDA after us. We got other acronyms after us. We got the feds out of us. We got the CFDA, the LVMH. They like,
They plotting on us. They ain't trying to see us win, dog.
oh, they don't want to see America sewing. Like, let's make America sew again. I'm
Let's
just saying,
make America snow again.
let's make American garments again. It's a different MAGA these days. Like, make American garments again. Like,
You
that's
about to
all I'm
get all
saying.
of our viewers. We about to have no
Hey,
viewers.
if they want to make clothes, they is like hey, I don't care who brings the message. So if the message is the message, that's all that counts. The message
Hey, I
is
like that, dog.
don't. I
I don't
put
know
it.
if we can run on that,
Yo,
though.
you don't know how much hate I got from that when I put it on Facebook. But that's what I'm saying. Like the message is make American garments again. Like
Make
I
American
want us
government.
to. I want us to be able to profit off of what they came up with, what we thought of, and what we make, and then be able to employ people. If I'm able to employ my brother, like if I'm gonna pay anybody, I'm gonna pay you. If I'm gonna make a brand and I'm gonna get a creative director, I'm gonna get my brothers. If I'm doing menswear, I'm gonna get you. If I'm doing women's wear, I'm gonna get Carolyn or I'm gonna get Kevin. Like people I know and I trust and I done worked with. Like if we gonna do that, if they're gonna give us money. If we get money, like, why would I go across seas and hire somebody that the LVMH suggested? Like, no, I want a factory over here. I want all the equipment over here. I want us to be able to make it over here and sell it over here. So if you want to buy it over there, then We could sell it over there too, but I want it to be for us, sir. So that's my main concern. And the copying is gonna come. Like we can't even trace or trademark or check a trademark for anybody making anything in Pakistan. And most of the people I know right now, they got a manufacturer. They got a manufacturer in India or Pakistan right now. Bangladesh, India, Pakistan. And
Don't you know somebody? Well, you know somebody with the cloth thing, but or the fabric. But
he in
anyways, go
Taiwan.
ahead. What you
Like
saying?
he producing, like he in a country that's producing fabric by the rolls. Like that's what they do. They ain't making no garments. Like they make garments there, but you seen Taiwan on the back of a tag. But he work at like like he's a professor and they producing fabric. So we don't produce no fabric over here like that. We don't got no companies where
Right. We don't even got like animals out here like that.
they ain't shaving no sheeps. They ain't getting no kind of mohairs, no wool.
I mean, there might be a few here and there, but
We got
anyways, all right.
we got cotton though. We got cotton. Denim Tears.
All right.
But I
So
digress.
make sure y'all go check out the updates on 1080 1080club.life. Yeah, and also check out the show. I mean, if you have tickets, check out the show, but there's no more tickets left. But I'll let y'all know. Stay tuned. Yeah, so catch us next week on Clock Talk and say less and so more. You already know. Catch y'all later.